Boston Celtics tied an NBA record last night with 29 three-pointers in their first game of the season against the New York Knicks. In this video, we're going to break down a little bit of how that happened and talk about some of the strengths and weaknesses for both teams. So let's get into it. From the jump, it looked like the Celtics wanted to go after Karl-Anthony Towns. Here, to start the game, we just get a simple screen after the reception of the pass for Tatum. Cat's drop is a little too deep, and it allows Tatum plenty of space to be able to pull up from three, and that's how we start off the season for the Celtics. A couple concerning things on this next play for the Knicks. You have this pin down coming for Jason Tatum. One of the big deals for the Knicks this offseason was acquiring Mikal Bridges from the Brooklyn Nets, and on this play, he's not really navigating screens very well. That was one of his calling cards when he was in Phoenix playing for the Suns, is that he was a very good screen navigator and one of the better defenders in the league, and he seems to have fallen off a little bit from that point. So we'll see as the season goes on, can he actually get back to that same defensive ability. But here's the pin down. You have Mikal Bridges getting screened again by Kornet. I don't know where Jericho Sims is going. I think he's expecting to get hit with a back screen here, which does come, but oh yeah, Tatum actually has the ball, and we probably should be guarding him. Pull up three for Tatum. Another three for the Celtics. Another one of these situations where the ball screen comes up for Mikal Bridges and he doesn't really navigate through it pretty good. Again, he gets caught up on the screen here. Jericho Sims is playing in a deep drop, and another Tatum three. And the issue with all these pull-up threes is that now you've given Tatum a lot more confidence to be able to pull up. Here, simple isolation. He knows he's going to hit it over Jericho Sims, and it goes in again. This next one is coming off of an inbounds play on the sideline. Just a simple screen by Kornet is able to get Sam Hauser open, and the Knicks are just a little late to it. This next flip is actually really interesting. So you have a really high ball screen being set by Kornet for Jason Tatum. They end up hedging Karl-Anthony Towns on this. His hedge is not that great, and it ends up forcing Deuce McBride to be able to stunt over at Tatum. Tatum makes the right move, gets it over to the corner for Pritchard, who has a wide open three. Here we have another situation where Towns is in a ball screen. Horford sets the screen. Holiday's able to get downhill against the dropping Karl-Anthony Towns, and it ends up being a kick out to Jaylen Brown as Anunoby falls down. But Brown doesn't take the three. He actually ends up driving, and because Deuce has to protect the rim, it ends up leaving Drew Holiday wide open, and he does a great job of relocating back out behind the three-point line, and it turns into another three. This is another reason why the Celtics are just so good offensively. So here you get Kornet with just a simple ball screen. Bridges doesn't really navigate it through that well. You hit the short roll with Luke Kornet, and Luke Kornet of all players is making plays out of the short roll, and that's when you know you're probably cooked. Kornet looks and peeks over at Derek White. Brunson has to take away the rim, but he leaves Peyton Pritchard in the process, and it turns into a wide open three. Nope, just kidding. It's a Derek White corner three after he relocates. His next play is actually a pretty nice pass and play from Tatum. We have another Luke Kornet high ball screen coming. Before Tatum even knows that Jericho Sims is in a drop, really, he ends up firing this pass with his offhand into the corner. McBride again is just a tad bit late, and credit to Derek White, who's become a better three-point shooter as his career has gone on, ends up catching and shooting, rips the net. Another example of Derek White's shooting ability comes here off the little pass from Al Horford in the screen. Bridges is trailing. Towns has to be in a drop. You've seen that they've gone away from him kind of hedging up, as we saw how that went. But now as he drops, they're going to have Jalen Brunson come and stun at the ball, make sure Tatum doesn't get a clean look like he's gotten in the first half. The only issue with that is that when Brunson stunts, he has to recover quickly. And in this case, it's not enough to be able to deter Derek White's three from going in. This is another Celtics advantage here. Ball screen has already happened between Horford and Tatum like it usually has. You have Bridges and Cat in the ball screen coverage here. Bridges is trailing a tiny bit, ends up being a little pocket pass to Horford. And now Brunson has to help off of the corner to prevent a wide open three for Horford. But that just leads to an open Drew Holiday three. A little flash from the past here where we get another ball screen set by Horford, and it's just a drop coverage by Karl-Anthony Towns, and Tatum rises up and fires. He's already hit a bunch of threes at this point, so why not keep going to the same thing? If you're tired of the Al Horford, Jason Tatum screens, you can go ahead and turn off the video because there's a lot of them here if you haven't noticed. But we get Cat in a little bit of a drop here, ends up coming and pressuring the ball for a moment, but now he's not quick enough to recover back to Horford. We have Brunson yet again having to close out to Horford, tries to deter the pass, and that's a really long closeout for even the 7-footer Karl-Anthony Towns to really make a difference on another Derek White 3. So this is where things get a little bit more interesting now. So we get the same little screen here from Horford and Tatum, but this time we have the Knicks electing to go and double and have Anunoby take Horford. But the Celtics are ready for this. They get Derek White on a cut right into the nail, and he already knows that he's got two shooters in the corner. So whether it's Brunson helping off of Holiday or Hart helping off of Brown, he's got his options, because if neither of them help, you have an easy access to the rim. But if one of them helps, then you just find where they were helping from and you find your open shooter, and Brown knocks this one down. And here's another fun little play from the Celtics. You have Tatum with the ball. You have Pritchard, who's going to pretend like he's going to cut off this rip screen, but he's actually setting another down screen. So it becomes this staggered screen for Derek White lifting up from the corner, and Mikal Bridges, shocker, isn't able to navigate through the screen in time and ends up being another Derek White 3. Obviously, we can't expect the Celtics to go shoot 48% from 3 again, but bear in mind they did shoot about 39% from 3 last year on very high volume. So this team is capable, right? They're not going to hit 29 threes every single game, but they are capable of it, and something that you have to work to prevent as best you can. For the Knicks, I think the biggest question is they have to solve the Karl Anthony Towns issue, similar to Minnesota with Julius Randle. The Knicks are going to have to figure out how to use Towns the right way defensively. Does that mean you're going to throw some more zone possessions out? Does that mean you're just going to be consistently changing defenses throughout the game? It's going to be really interesting to watch how they are shaping their defense with him on the floor, because Towns' biggest knock is his lack of defense and just not having the foot speed to be able to guard on the perimeter. Obviously, super early in the season, these two teams are probably going to end up with home court advantage as we get to the playoffs, but both provide a lot of really fun things to watch throughout the year, and it'll be interesting to see how they figure things out as the season goes on. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel, like, comment, let me know what your thoughts are on the NBA season. We'll be making more NBA videos as the season goes on. Thanks for watching.
What went through your mind when you were handed your ring? And 2, what did the court taste like?
Blood. Maybe I wish it did.